You know the feeling. Your energy is completely depleted, your schedule is a crushing weight, and the corporate response to your exhaustion is often a 15-minute webinar on deep breathing. This creates a strange paradox. While everyone around you is enduring the same structural collapse, the guilt feels entirely personal. You sit at your desk wondering why you lack the resilience to keep up. Cultural theorist Mark Fisher described this as the privatization of stress. It's the process where massive economic pressures are repackaged and sold back to you as personal psychological failings. Burnout functions as a highly effective business model. It turns structural failures into individual problems, allowing the system to absorb the shocks of its own dysfunction with ever having to change. This relocation of responsibility is no accident. It is a documented strategy used by massive institutions to deflect accountability for the problems they generate.
In the early 2000s, British Petroleum popularized the carbon footprint. By forcing individuals to calculate their own guilt for the climate crisis, they successfully distracted the public from the need to regulate corporate emissions. Decades earlier, packaging corporations funded the Keep America Beautiful campaign. They marketed personal responsibility as the only solution for littering, ensuring that the corporations producing the waste never had to answer for it. This creates a trap. If we blame the system entirely, we become helpless victims. But if we blame ourselves, we are crushed by the weight of a responsibility we cannot possibly fulfill. Stripping away the marketing leaves us paralyzed. We find ourselves caught between two extreme philosophical views of who is truly at fault. On one side is the extreme of individual agency, championed by Jean-Paul Sartre. Sartre introduced the concept of bad faith, the idea that blaming our circumstances or the system is a cowardly way to hide from our own radical freedom. For Sartre, we are condemned to be free. The anxiety we feel isn't a symptom of burnout, it's the vertigo of realizing that we have no external excuses for the lives we lead. While this agency is empowering, internalizing total responsibility for a rigged game leads us right back to the guilt and self-destruction we were trying to escape. The pendulum then swings to the opposite extreme, total systemic determinism, anchored by the philosophy of Martin Heidegger. Heidegger spoke of thrownness, the reality that we are dropped into historical and economic structures we did not choose and cannot control. In this world, the impersonal machinery of fate is so vast that our free will can feel like a costume. We become fragments of a system that has already decided our path. These two worldviews collide violently. Pure agency destroys the self with guilt, while pure determinism destroys the human will with apathy. Bouncing between "it's my fault" and "the game is rigged" creates what Kierkegaard called the dizziness of freedom, a state of constant, unresolved whiplash. Albert Camus offers a way out of this whiplash. Camus gave us the absurd hero through the myth of Sisyphus, a man condemned by the gods to push a boulder up a hill forever, only for it to roll back down every time. Sisyphus does not waste his life arguing if the system is fair, nor does he pretend he chose the task. He sees the trap with total lucidity, and he pushes the stone anyway. The absurd hero's power comes from revolt. It is the act of acknowledging a crushing reality while fiercely exercising agency within it, without needing the ambiguity to be resolved. This brings us back to the central question. Was it the system that failed you, or did you fail yourself? Refusing to close the gap between these answers is our most powerful tool. Holding the ambiguity is key. These geese demonstrate a logic our systems overlook, an individuality existing only because of their relationship to the environment. Their movement suggests we are both things at once. We are shaped by the rigging of the structures we inhabit, yet we remain the conscious agents whose choices determine the quality of our revolt. Inhabiting this unresolved space is the work. Choosing to remain conscious between these two extremes makes the refusal to simplify a genuine act of rebellion.